Hey, Shalom. First, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shah, Bahashim Kwakadash, Yahweh, who the world ignorantly calls God, Yahweh Shah, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. I want to give a double honor to the apostles, a great millstone who has taught me this truth. I want to give a peace and blessings to the I came across the four corners of the earth, who teach this truth and risk their life to do so. It's going to be a quick video. Lord, when the video is edifying, Lord, I can get something from this video. This is Micah 7. And I'm gonna start at 7. It says, "Therefore I will look unto the Lord Yahweh. I will wait for the power of my salvation. My power will hear me. Rejoice not against me, O mine enemy. When I fall, I shall arise. When I sit in darkness, the Lord Yahweh shall be a light unto me." And this is the mindset that you have to have, when you in this walk, all right? Because scriptures say, when you come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. You're gonna go through some shit, man. Sirach 2:1, it says, "My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation, set thy heart aright, and constantly endure, and make not haste in the time of trouble." It says, cleave unto, hold on. It says, cleave unto him and depart. Hold on, not him, because this car. Okay, yeah. Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state, because you never know what the Lord is. You never know what the Lord has at the end at the end of your tribulation for you. You never know what reward the Lord might have for you. You know what I mean? After you done showed that, through temptation, through, punishment, through his indignation, you stayed down, so to speak. You know what I mean? Because you might go through your woman committing adultery. You might go through losing possessions. You might go through, time where you're on your last, financially. You know what I mean? But it says what? Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at that last end. So the Lord said, cleave unto him, man. You know what I mean? And it says what? Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, take it. You know what I mean? The brother had he was telling me a story about, he was in the backyard running with his dog, or somewhere running with his dog or whatever. He stepped in a big ass hole and like twisted his ankle super bad. You know what I mean? And he was like, "Tawadi how bashim shot." You know what I mean? Because things like that, we deserve it. You know what I mean? I didn't did things that, that I didn't did things that's, that's bad, man, that the Lord could really, you know what I mean? But the Lord has mercy on us. You know what I mean? To where, like, he'll put us through something that we can go through. You know what I mean? And the Lord has mercy that he don't kill us, or not kill us, but that he don't, take our the spirit from us. You know what I mean? Because, we done did things worthy unto death. Scripture said what? Our righteousness is as filthy rags. I know I've done things, that is worthy unto death. You know what I mean? And I just pray that the Lord continue to have mercy, man. You know what I mean? Because, it says it's a light affliction. You know what I mean? And we're punished now so that we're not punished with the world. The world got missiles coming. They got martial law coming. They got famine. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and Lord willing, I don't, you know what I mean? We be saved up out of that. You know what I mean? Lord willing, I can make it through that time. Lord willing, I make it to that time and make it through that time. Lord, after it be the Lord's will, Lord willing. You know what I mean? But the Lord is going to be with brothers in those times, man. You know what I mean? Well, it says what? The Lord is not unrighteous to forget your labor of love. Okay? It says, cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Believe in him, and he will help thee. Order thy way right, and trust in him. Ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy, and go not aside, lest ye fall. So if you fear the Lord, wait for his mercy. Right? Scripture say what? He's merciful unto those that keep his law. I just did a video on that, roughly paraphrasing the scripture. It says, "Ye that fear the Lord, believe in him, and your reward shall not fail. Ye that fear the Lord, hope for good and for everlasting joy and mercy. Look at the generations of old and see that ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded, or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken, or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? For the Lord is full of compassion and mercy and long suffering and very pitiful, and forgiveth sins and saveth in the time of affliction. Okay, but what it says, woe be to the fearful hearts and faint hands, and the sinner that goeth 2 ways. Woe unto him that is faint-hearted, for he believeth not, therefore shall he not be defended. So you can't be faint-hearted. You got, because what? Being faint-hearted shows what? Lack of faith. Okay, and it's impossible to please the Lord without faith. Okay, let me go back to Micah 7. This is Micah 7:9. It says, rejoice not against me, O mine enemy. When I fall, I shall arise. And, if you look at that on a scale, on a personal level, you have enemies that might laugh at you and might, when when you fall, when you go through something. You know what I mean? I've had it. You know what I mean? I've been, done wrong at a job before that I no longer have. I was being done wrong for years. One testimony is, I had to go against this Edomite looking dude, for finance. You know what I mean? I used to work at a dealership, and the GM had texted us, you know what I mean? And he was like, whoever does better out of you two in finance school gets the finance position. And me and him was in the same position at the time. I was a manager on the used car side. He was a manager on the new car side. But mind you, I've been at the store longer than him. I was at the store probably 2 years prior to he came. So I already had I had seniority on him. You know what I mean? And I was closing more deals than he was. I was more, everybody knew I was the better manager. Okay. And I mean, the numbers showed. Okay. So a couple months, like 6 months before we go to finance school, the GM sends out a text in the morning. Whoever does better out of y'all two, he put it in a group chat. Who does better out of y'all two is going to go to finance school. So I said, okay, cool. So meanwhile, and I might go into that. I'm just getting to the point on the story, but I might do another video going in depth on the story, because this is a lot of shit that happened, but I'm gonna just roughly go through it. You know what I mean? It kind of land the plane, but long story short, they was training the dude 4 months. You know what I mean? And I wasn't getting no training. They was throwing him in finance, letting him spin customers, letting him do paperwork, teaching him the codes for 4 months, man. Okay? Prior to him going to school, so when they sent him to school, it would just be a cakewalk for him. Meanwhile, I'm over there in the used, because it was separated by 2 buildings. So you got the used car side, you got the new car side, but the finance department is at the new car side. Okay, but he worked in the new car side. You know what I mean? He was a floor manager on the new car side. I was a floor manager on the used car side. So they'll let him get off work early and go sit in finance and listen to people take turns and listen to people pitch and learn all the codes and all that. And by the time I found out, he was already 3 or 4 months into learning. He was already 3 or 4 months into training, right? So I was begging. I had to beg to go over there for fucking 15, 20 minutes to figure out the codes and figure out, the things he'd been learning for 3 or 4 months. So the dude had 4 months on me already prior to us going to school. It's like boxing. It's like if you don't know you got a boxing match. Well, you got a boxing match, but this dude be getting trained the whole time and you wasn't getting no training. You know what I mean? They favoring him over you. Okay. So they sent us to finance school. I had 4 days to learn when he learned in 4 months. Okay. So, Jake, man, they let us, so we went to school for 4 days. You got to pass a big ass test at the end of school. It's kind of hard, man. It's a tough ass test or whatever, especially if you don't pay attention. So his arrogant ass, I think he already knew he was probably getting a position, but he goes, after the 4 days of school, he goes into the finance office and takes the test on the computer. But it was an at-home test they let us take at home. I'm like, ain't no way in the world I'm not going to pass this test. So long story short, he got an 89 on the test. I got a 98 on the test. Okay? And we did a presentation. I think I got a 3 for 4 on a live presentation, and he got like a 2 for 4 or something like that. I I got a 98 on the test. He got an 89 on the test. And they still gave him the position. And they justified by saying, yeah, I just felt like, he needed less training right now than you did. Because I got to plug somebody back there right now. But they used the fact that they was training him for 4 months against me. Even though I beat him in finance school, even though that they sent the text out, the GM of the store sent the text out. Months prior, sent the text out, man. That whoever did better would get the position. And this is not a light position, brothers. This is a position where, you making serious as money. A month, you making anywhere between 15 to 20,000. Like, you making a lot of money, right? More than what we was making at the positions that we was at. And I beat him, and they gave him the position. So not only did they train this man for months, and he had 4 months on me, I still beat him. I still scored higher than him on the test. I still scored higher than him on the presentation. And they still gave him the position. Do you know how embarrassing it was, man, to walk around that fucking job when people was like, bro, we see the scores. They posted. How is he in finance over you? I'm like, I don't know. And I have a recording of the GM saying, well, yeah, we just felt like, and I was really surprised that you did as well as you did because we felt like he was a hair above you. Of course he was a hair above me because y'all was training him. Unknown, and I didn't know. Y'all was preparing him for finance, and I still beat him. And I had to learn in 4 days what he's been getting taught in 4 months. And he still got the position. He still got it. So it's embarrassing, man, because it's like you walk around that motherfucker and they like, damn, like shit. But really it was evidence to show you like, man, these people are fucking crooked. And everybody's seeing that just based off that situation. So you had people pulling me in the office. Oh, man, if, bro, I care about your future and this and that. And I got some plugs at a different store for you and all this and all that. And woot, woot, woot. All right, cool. Never got plugged with another store. Never got nothing. So it's cool. Okay. They asked me, bro, what are you still doing here? What are you still doing here? Like, why are you still working here? Because I got fucking bills I had to pay. Right? You know what I mean? And they knew, like, he ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? He ain't going nowhere. Like, this nigga got bills. Fuck, we could do them any way we could do them. Like, but that don't go unnoticed, man. What you do to the prophets don't go unnoticed. Okay? So, about 2 weeks later, I ended up showing up late on a Saturday, and we go out and teach on a Saturday, right? I ended up showing up late on a Saturday. I missed, like, roll call or something. And but at this point, I'm like, fuck them anyway, because they like gave this man my position. They hold me out, and then I beat him still, and then they still gave him the position. So, whatever. So, I ended up showing up late on Saturday, and they had the GM and the GSM, which I was really close to the GSM, but he a nigga, and he did me more greasy than the GM did, to be honest with you. But and that's a different story for a different time. But they in the office, and I could tell it was like a heated ass conversation just by like how papers was being thrown everywhere and all that shit. So, because a lot of people was late on that Saturday morning, and the GM was sitting there talking to me. He was like, well, mind you, I've been at the store for 3 years, so listen to what I'm about to say. Right? I was at the store for almost 4 years. So he's like, hey, why are you late? I'm like, man, I woke up late. He was like, man, you a manager. You can't be fucking late. What do? So I'm like, all right, cool. He was like, I didn't know you leave early on Saturdays. I didn't know you leave at 3 o'clock on Saturdays. I'm like, how are you the GSM in my mind, I'm like, how are you the GSM of the store for GM of the store? I've been here for almost 4 years, and you just now noticing I left on Saturday early to go to camp. Shows you how terrible you are as a manager. Talking about my managing skills. You fucking run the store and don't know that one of your managers leave on Saturday for religious purposes, so-called religious purposes. So the GM is like, and I think he's an Amalekite. So he was like, well, you got two choices. You could either work a full Saturday and stop doing what you do on Saturday, and I could put you in finance, or you could continue what you do on Saturday, and you're not going to never have a chance at finance. Not at all. Like, you're never going to finance. And I told him, I said, fuck finance. Hey, you can keep finance. I don't want to know it. Y'all already hold me out. Cool. Because if you think I'm finna stop doing what I do on Saturday to come here and to fulfill your wishes and to, you know, with your so-called, these fucking kids, man. To fulfill your wishes with your so-called opportunities and all that. If you think I'm finna, you know, jeopardize what I do, you a fucking fool. So I was like, nah, you could forget finance. I don't want to be in finance if I gotta work a full Saturday. He was like, all right, cool. Don't be late again. I'm like, all right, cool. And I ended up leaving the office, and we, you know, and I went on with the day or whatever. But that just goes to show you, man, that during this walk, you know, it's some shit you're gonna go through, and you're gonna be tested, man. And it's like, you know, it sucks, but it don't go unnoticed. Scripture said the Lord counted the tears, man. Okay, so the Lord know, you know what I mean? The Lord knows everything, man. Okay, but let me finish this off. Slack here for the talking too much. But this is Micah 7:9. It says, I will bear the indignation of the Lord Yahweh because I have sinned against him until he plead my cause and execute judgment for me. Okay, it says, he will bring me forth to the light, and I shall behold his righteousness. Then she that is my enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, where is the Lord Yahweh thy power? Mine eyes shall behold her. Now shall she be trodden down as the mire of the streets. In the day thy walls are to be built. In the day shall the decree be far removed. So, and not just when you go back to 10, it says, then she that is mine enemy shall see it. Well, she is going to see it, but the world is going to see it, man. Okay? Now, the shame is going to be on the world, right? Mark 9:42, man. It is, you know, if you offend one of the little ones that believe in Yahweh, Yahweh Shah was better that a millstone was hung about your neck. You were cast into the sea. Okay? So, man, whatever you go through, man, whatever people, I got testimonies, I got testimonies, man. Okay? But whatever you go, in what man of the Lord don't, man? And what's a story without a testimony? If you ain't going through nothing, what are you doing? Okay? So yeah, man, the Lord got us, man. Lord willing I be one of those men, man. The Lord got us. Okay, but the Lord, hey, what these heathen do and what these people do, it doesn't go unnoticed. It don't go unnoticed, man. They're gonna get theirs, man. They will get theirs, man. They will get theirs, man. Okay, you got one last thing I'll say too. You know, you got one dude in there, which he was my manager. He's like, oh, bro, you should quit, bro. I can't believe they doing you like that. I can't believe I would never do you like, bro. I can't, like, that's fucked up, bro. You should quit, bro. I got some other spots. And then this dude end up looking up, you know, the last couple chicks I dated and start getting with the chicks after I was done with them. Hey, man, you can't make this shit up. Hey, man, you know what I mean? You know, not one girl, but two girls. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, every girl I casted off, you know, you go lay down with her, try to go lay down with her, man. You know what I mean? It's like, wow, like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I'm saying? So, it is what it is, man, but that's how these people get down in the world, man. You know what I mean? And that's how the shit go. Okay, that's how the shit go, but it don't go unnoticed. It doesn't go unnoticed, brothers. It don't, man. Okay? But whatever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully. I know it's easier said than done, but Lord willing, the Lord see me through every situation, man, and be a light unto me. Same with you, brothers. Same with you, Akim, man. Okay? So with that, man, Lord, when the video is edifying, Lord, when you got something from this video, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shah, Bahashim Kwakadash. I want to tell you, brothers, keep pushing on to the next. Shalom.